Amani National Congress ANC party leader Musalia Mudavadi is now urging the government to cease of the March 9th, 2018 handshake between President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga and address financial scandals in the country. Addressing a press conference in Nakuru on Sunday, Mudavadi slammed the government for what he termed as empty rhetoric about a make-believe war against corruption, instead of pushing for the arrest and prosecution of those found complicit in the vice. The country wakes up every morning to news of a new scandal. Each of these scandals runs into billions of shillings, said the ANC boss. The thieves have become so daring that it must now be understood that this government believes that corruption is part of the gains of being in government. According to the National Super Alliance NASA co-principal, the government recently awarded 3 tenders running into billions of shillings to an already bankrupt Italian firm named CMC Di Rivana. Because it was already broke, this company has now filed for creditors protection in Italian court. This is to say that it has admitted that it is insolvent and bankrupt. It has no financial capacity to honor any of its commitments and obligations, added Mr. Musalia Mudavadi. Those tenders, as alleged by Mudavadi, are Itare Dam Water Supply Project in Nakuru County, which is worth 40 billion Kenyan shillings, Kimwarel Multi-Purpose Dam Project in Elgeyo Marakwet County, which is around 28 billion Kenyan shillings worth, Aror Multi-Purpose Dam Project in Elgeyo Marakwet County, which is 38 billion shillings. The former deputy premier also urged the Italian embassy to come clean on the matter, further questioning their complicity. State agencies led by the presidency must act now. The Auditor General must conduct a special audit on the 3 projects and any others awarded to the bankrupt company, he added. The DCI and EACC must also weigh in. We want to see handcuffs and not be told about handshakes. Mudavadi, who threatened to call for mass action if the issues are not addressed, has alluded to mismanagement and corruption in the ministries of education, agriculture and energy, claiming that corruption is so rampant in that ministries. He also urged and wants the president to sack cabinet secretaries involved in corruption. He says it is time the president walked the talk on corruption and dismissed CS whose dockets are embroiled in graft, some amounting to billions of shillings. There's too much empty talk and explanations on the so-called handshake, and yet corruption seems to be on the increase in government. Kenyans no longer want to hear explanations on the handshake. They want handcuffs on those involved in graft, according to Mr. Mudavadi. Mudavadi said explanations on the handshake between Mr. Uhuru and Mr. Raila was not helping the country. He said unless Uhuru acts, he risks spoiling his legacy. The image of the government is too tainted with graft. The ANC leader said the handshake was of no use to Kenyans if looting is going on with the president and Raila watching. Uhuru can only restore confidence in Kenyans if he sends home those who are looting public resources in the country, Mudavadi said. Mudavadi spoke at Musembe village in Lugari constituency during the burial of his former personal assistant Henry Maraloba. He was accompanied by area MP Ayub Savula, his Sabatia counterpart Alfred Agoy, nominated Senator Naomi Shionga, and Vihiga County Woman Representative Beatrice Adagala and politician Kevin Okwara. The ANC leader also challenged the Kenya and Italian government to explain the fate of 3 mega dams in Rift Valley, which were to cost shillings 90 billion but have been muddled in the graft and kickbacks involving cabinet secretaries. The dams include Itare in Nakuru, costing shilling 40 billion, and that all Yaha in Marakwet, Elgeyo, all that. Treasury Cabinet Secretary Henry Rotich is among top-ranking officials who have been questioned by the DCI on allegations of kickbacks during tendering for the projects. Rotich recorded a statement last week on Monday at the DCI over the Aror Multipurpose Dam in the Marakwet West constituency and Kimwarer in Keio South constituency. So many scandals. Now NASA Premier says stop handshake, begin handcuffs. Let's see what Uhuru will do.